I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys hope by the end of today's game they'll have secured win number 1 on the season. It's the Broncos going up against the Cowboys. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and Mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. They come out here in the eye. Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They run again with Jackson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now it's Jackson. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, how many times do we talk to people before a game and they talk about how toughness is going to win? But we just saw it on that play. 6 defensive backs in the game. Their dime package, they run the draw with all these big people coming downfield. They found a way to get in there, an undersized defense, and win that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets. But oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back to throw here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. Halfback sent in motion. Now back to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And some space here. He's at the 50. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it with Jackson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Still third down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going.
And got his man complete. He's at the 30, 10, and all the way home for a Bronco score. A great effort there. 98 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And that's the type of play that'll give your sideline some juice, a long touchdown pass.
And it's like a bolt of lightning, isn't it? That suddenness of that play brings everyone to their feet in the stadium, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. Give him credit for making that type of a play call. Even more credit for how they executed it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down.
And the hitch route is run really well. That jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space. All you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So it'll be first down here after the run.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 87 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On the ground, this is Jackson. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
While there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Surveying the field. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out here in the eye.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's caught at the 3. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Their big tight end, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score.
Yeah, you heard it, right? You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, if they can just tighten.
That's what they want to do. Tighten down everything they're doing, and it maybe explode at the right time.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go now.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw again. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Back to throw again. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Their dangerous wide receiver as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't,
After reviewing the play, the reading on the field states.
now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Second down following the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Muscles him off. Cuts it out to the sideline. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
and that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball, because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
They'll set up a throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete. So we have come to halftime. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now they try the right side here. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
On the direct snap, Freeman. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Play clock winding down. Looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They come out here in the I. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They'll look to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And they'll run it here. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. Shreds the tackle. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again. They'll drop the throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. when you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this will be taken at the 13. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll look to throw, and that's incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
This is taken around the 12. Fighting through. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Leopard. Detroit. Here we go now.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a gain of 14 there, and it'll be 1st down Denver. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there. Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. And on third down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. They'll set up to throw. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead. And he knocks it through. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. So they ran against the 4-6 defense. Not only did they run against it, they tried to run it right up the gut.
And that's really not a great place to go when you're running against what is commonly known as the Bear defense, made popular by those great Chicago Bears teams. No place to go right in the middle of that.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Smith, tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defense. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend the lead out to 24.